The RV sat motionless under the scorching Nevada sun, its tires half sunken into the desert sand. A baby's pacifier lay near the open side door, swaying slightly in the breeze. There were no signs of struggle, no footprints, no bodies, just silence, and the unsettling truth that the McAllister family had simply vanished. Into cinematic true crime, whether it's haunting fiction or real-life disappearances, finally cracked. Subscribe now and tap the bell. Missing Shadows brings the darkest mysteries to light. In the summer of 1991, Thomas and Evelyn McAllister, a middle-class couple from Spokane, Washington, decided to take their 3 children, 9-year-old Josh, 6-year-old Lacey, and 18-month-old Noah, on a cross-country RV trip. It was meant to be a fresh start after Evelyn's recent recovery from a long illness. They mapped out national parks, roadside diners, and small motels across 6 states. Thomas, a high school science teacher, meticulously planned each stop. Evelyn, a homemaker, kept a handwritten travel journal that she updated daily. Their children were excited, especially Josh, who carried a camcorder everywhere they went. On July 18th, they were last seen refueling their RV in Tonopah, Nevada. A gas station clerk remembered Evelyn smiling while handing little Noah a juice box. After that, there were no credit card charges, no phone calls, no sightings. For days later, their abandoned RV was found 27 miles off the nearest highway, doors unlocked, food uneaten, and every belonging still inside, except the family. For the first 2 days, no one suspected anything. The McAllisters were on a road trip, after all, unreachable stretches of land, spotty payphones, and no cell phones back then. But when Thomas didn't call his brother in Montana to confirm their arrival, red flags went up. By the 5th day, Evelyn's sister, Margaret, contacted state police. She hadn't received a postcard since the Yosemite stop, and Evelyn never skipped a letter. The family was officially reported missing. On July 23rd, a park ranger spotted the McAllister RV parked awkwardly on a gravel path near the edge of Black Rock Desert. It was miles from any known trail or tourist site. When police arrived, they found no signs of struggle. The table was still set with paper plates and peanut butter sandwiches. A coloring book lay open on the couch. Josh's camcorder was on the counter, battery drained. Evelyn's travel journal was missing 3 final pages, torn out. Most disturbing of all, Noah's favorite stuffed bear, always clutched in his tiny arms, was found just outside the RV, half buried in the dust. There were no tire tracks suggesting another vehicle. No signs of wildlife attack. No fingerprints other than those of the family. It was as if the McAllisters had simply stepped out and vanished into thin air. The FBI got involved within 48 hours. Flyers were distributed across 6 states. Roadblocks were set up. But with no digital trail, no surveillance cameras in that remote region, and no witnesses, the case hit a dead end. Until Josh's camcorder was examined more closely. 2 weeks after the RV was discovered, Josh's drained camcorder was sent to a forensic lab in Reno for battery restoration and tape recovery. It took 5 days of delicate work, but when the technician finally loaded the tape into a monitor, what they saw made their skin crawl. The footage started normally, Josh panning across dusty highways, giggling at his younger brother pretending to be a cowboy, Thomas humming along to a cassette tape while driving. Evelyn occasionally turned to smile at the camera, her handwritten journal resting in her lap. But then, the last 45 seconds of the footage. It was shaky, dark, almost completely still at first. Then, muffled voices in the distance. Josh whispers, "Mom, where are you going?" The camera moves toward the RV door, creaks open slightly, and catches Evelyn, barefoot, walking stiffly into the night, her nightgown fluttering in the wind. The strange part, she's walking toward what appears to be a faint light in the distance. It pulses, almost like a lantern. Then one by one, Thomas and the boys follow, all silent. The camera falls. Static. The timestamp, July 21st, 3:42 a.m. It wasn't much, no faces, no vehicle, no voices after that. But the image of a full family walking, in silence, toward an unknown light in the middle of nowhere shook investigators. Why did they leave food untouched, without shoes, without warning? And what was the light? It was the first and only piece of real-time evidence of their final movements. The case, which had been cooling down, suddenly flared back into national headlines. Speculation ran wild. Cult abduction, mass hypnosis, even paranormal theories. Still, no bodies, no sign of foul play, and no trace of where the McAllisters went after that final frame. By the end of July 1991, the McAllister disappearance had become national news. News vans lined up along the side of Route 50, dubbed by some reporters as America's loneliest road to nowhere. CNN aired a special segment titled "Vanished in the Desert: The McAllister Mystery." Night after night, anchors recited the same facts: the food left untouched, the lack of struggle, and that eerie camcorder footage of a barefoot family walking toward a dim, unexplained light. Talk shows ran wild with theories. Some believed they'd fallen victim to a religious cult operating off-grid. Others swore they recognized the flickering light in the footage, claiming it matched sightings of orbs linked to unexplained desert phenomena. A retired Air Force technician even claimed the area was once used for secret psychological experiments in the 60s. Grief-stricken relatives made televised pleas. Evelyn's sister sobbed on Good Morning America, clutching a framed photo of the boys. "Please, if anyone saw them, if they were taken, or if they're hiding, just let us know they're alive. My sister wouldn't have left her children." Meanwhile, the FBI set up a tip line, which flooded with everything from dream visions to reports of RVs seen near Nevada ghost towns. Psychics claimed to see the family underground. A woman from Idaho mailed in a drawing she'd done under spiritual guidance. It eerily resembled the campsite, but no physical evidence surfaced. The footage divided the country. Was it manipulation, a prank, or proof that something unexplainable had happened that night? The McAllisters were no longer just missing. They were a symbol, a chilling example of how a family could vanish without a scream, without a trace, and without a single person seeing it happen. And through it all, one detail from the camcorder footage refused to let go of the nation's imagination. What was that pulsing light, and why did they all follow it? October 2008, 17 years later, a construction crew working outside Elko, Nevada, was digging land for a planned highway extension. One of the backhoe operators struck something hard just beneath the surface, near a forgotten service road. Thinking it was old piping, they cleared the area, but what they unearthed was a metal. It was the rusted frame of a 1990s-era video camera, the exact model missing from the McAllister RV case. Inside the weather-beaten casing, investigators recovered a partially intact mini-cassette. The FBI's forensics team restored just under 12 minutes of additional footage that had never been released to the public before. What it showed was bone-chilling. The final moments recorded from inside the RV. The children sleeping on the lower bunk. Evelyn quietly folding clothes. A sudden flash of white light through the rear window. Then, one by one, the family members waking, not startled, but calm, even oddly drawn. They rise silently, barefoot, as if sleepwalking. The last frames show James turning off the camcorder himself, not in fear, but with a faint smile. What was never explained? The angle of the recovered footage. It had been placed on a shelf, aimed toward the front door, as if someone had set it up intentionally, not to record the unknown, but to leave behind a goodbye. The discovery reignited the media frenzy. Podcasts picked up the story. Desert Echoes, a viral investigative series, spent 3 episodes dissecting the footage frame by frame. Reddit threads exploded with theories: alien abduction, mass psychosis, a coordinated disappearance. One chilling question echoed everywhere. If someone placed the camcorder, who was it meant for? And more importantly, if they left behind a message, where did they go? January 2009, the voice that changed everything. After the FBI publicly released a short clip from the recovered camcorder footage, specifically the haunting moment the family calmly walked out of the RV, a surprising tip came in from an unlikely place. A 76-year-old retired park ranger named Harlan DeWitt who had worked in Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest in the early 90s, called the tip line. His voice trembled as he spoke. I remember a family matching that description. I helped them. Harlan recalled a foggy morning in late June 1991. A man, kind, quiet, with a Midwestern accent, had come to his service cabin asking for directions back to I-80. He had 2 young kids with him, a boy and girl, both holding pine cones like treasures. The man said they had gotten turned around after leaving their campsite near Angel Creek. He had introduced himself only as Jim. They didn't seem scared, but the woman, she looked like she hadn't slept in days. Harlan said he pointed them north. They thanked him and left in an older RV, maroon with white trim. But what shook him now, years later, was what he remembered seeing in the rearview window as they drove away. A figure, not part of the family, standing in the back of the RV. He thought maybe it was a shadow or a trick of the mist. But when he saw that old video clip again, he knew. That flash of light, that stillness, that smile. It hadn't been peace. It had been resignation. FBI teams returned to the Angel Creek area with fresh eyes. And what they found, buried under layers of dead leaves and decades of silence, was chilling. A rusted baby shoe, a tattered page from a child's book, and a pendant with Evelyn's initials engraved on the back. But no bodies, no clear answers, just relics of a life paused in motion, and a growing theory that the McAllisters hadn't simply disappeared. They had walked into something, willingly or not, and left this world behind. June 2020, a box left on the porch. Almost 3 decades after the McAllister family vanished, Evelyn's sister Darlene, now in her 60s, was making tea in her quiet Vermont home when she heard a knock. There was no one outside, just a weathered cardboard box wrapped in twine, no return address. Inside were 3 things. A faded Polaroid photo of the McAllisters standing in front of their RV, smiling. A cassette tape unlabeled, and a handwritten note on yellowed paper. They were happy. They were safe. They chose peace. You don't have to look anymore. Darlene sat for hours at the kitchen table, staring at the photo. Evelyn's smile, soft, worn, looked real. Not staged. Like she knew something no one else did. The tape contained muffled forest sounds, a child's voice counting slowly, and then Evelyn's voice, calm and serene, reciting Psalm 23. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the FBI took the box. The handwriting didn't match anyone in their databases. No fingerprints, no DNA. But the case, unofficially, had already become legend. Campfire stories, Reddit theories, podcasts. For some, the McAllisters were victims. For others, they had escaped a society they could no longer bear, choosing isolation, peace, or even something more otherworldly. For Darlene, only one thing mattered. They hadn't been afraid. They had chosen something together, as a family, and that gave her peace. Each year, on June 18th, she lights 4 candles in her window. 1 for Evelyn, 1 for Jim, 1 for Rachel, 1 for Henry. Not to mourn, but to let them know they're remembered. Sometimes vanishing isn't about running from something. It's about running towards something no one else can understand. The McAllisters left behind no bodies, no wreckage, no struggle, just silence, and now a whisper through time. In a world where we're tracked, traced, and tethered to noise, they found a way to disappear completely, and perhaps, finally, to be free. They became more than a missing persons case. They became a question that may never have an answer. What if leaving everything behind was the only way to come home? And somewhere, in the stillness of a forest no map dares mark, a family sits by the fire, untouched by time, together, waiting. If this story left you speechless, imagine what's coming next. Subscribe for more true, haunting mysteries like this one.